concerning Ambazonia. That's what is going to make us different from all the TV stations that have been talking on this thing. And I regret that we have not, and we apologize to the Ambazonian people because we are here to talk key issues that concerns us. We don't care as much as we care a little bit about what's happening in La Republic. We want to tell you what concerns us in Ambazonia. Now, the next question I have, I know we have so many videos to play. Chairman will come to you to play those videos. But the next question I want us to address is the fact that me and you knew very well ahead of time that no matter how Issa Chiruma will win everywhere, La Republic will still rig the election. Congressman Paul or Dr. Tita, what is your take on this blame game that we have some Ambazonian elites blaming us that we stop elections in Ambazonia, that maybe if Issa Chiruma had we had allowed elections to take place in Ambazonia, Issa Chiruma would have won so woefully that La Republic could not have had a way to rig the election. Do you think that narrative make any sense with the rigid way that La Republic have been so experienced to rig elections, whether they won or not? We knew elections did not take place in Ambazonia, and we could not allow election because Ambazonia is not their territory. But people are blaming all that is because of that La Republic had the guts to rig the election. What is your take on that, Dr. Tia? Let me start with you.
Pastor Victor, that's so funny. It sounds like comedy. Like how in the world? I mean, we saw that the entire territory was locked down, and they still fabricated some kind of results. They came out with huge numbers and even more than the population, in those areas. Like how? I mean, I don't know those. I guess they're just talking. That's what I'm just gonna say. That these people just want to talk. They sound like comedian most of the time. It's like Bela Buki that was crying there in their parliament, and then the next day after the results was read, he's marching in Boyadari, he's celebrating. These guys are just comedians that are there in those offices or that have those positions in that colonial administration government. So these guys, we don't take them serious because even the international community look at them and puts no value in them. These guys have no integrity. They cannot even speak it. Also, they're lying from left to right, playing blame game from one corner to the other, trying to play cover up. Um, data that Isha Choruma put out, I mean, is evident because his people were sitting down there in those polls. He showed that he won the election clearly. But the regime is not a regime that will accept that defeat from anybody. History has shown it. Go back in 1992, the election from Frundi. Go back again when they did it with Camto recently. So that's the regime. Whoever is running has to be ready for war. And this is the thing that Brapo was just saying. That Issa Choroma better be ready for war. He can't make this nonsense like this and they kill people and then he goes and chicken out. That's going to be the greatest blow ever. So he better be ready to defend what he's pushing people to go out there to go and fight for. So so we don't take those guys seriously for real. Those guys are all jokers. No election took place in Amazonia, and they have all fake results out there that the Amazonian people voted when it's a lie. The international community knows that that's a lie. But let's see how they'll fight it. Let the people of the Republic of Cameroon fight against this thievery that's going on in their country, that fraud that they just conducted at this election. Let the people fight for it. And Issa Choroma should lead. Let him not come up and making those his plain speeches and be telling people to go and protest just to protest. He needs to be able to lead in a manner where he tells them to go and fight. Just say, oh, just go and protest, go and walk on the street, and people are being faced with bullets, and he sits down there and looking like he goes and cry in the back. He needs to come and lead, and talk like a leader.
Thank you. It's a sensitive situation. He has to play early before he gets to that place where when things he has to escalate by making those clear statements. Right now, I think he's playing the diplomacy game. He's playing the diplomacy game by saying he will get there. But let me bring Comrade Paul to answer this.
Please. The regime is a wicked regime. The regime is not a regime that will come and just play fair game with him. He knows that send the people out on Sunday to go and protest. It was to tried to threaten the regime, say, hey, see the power that I have. It did not stop the regime from declaring the
No,
victory. It did not
I,
stop them.
I want to believe with the statement that Paul made earlier that he just listened to him and he said he has a plan. I think he has a plan. I don't think he was.
Maybe Brother Paul will tell us his plan, because so far I've not heard
Brother Paul,
anything
let
that
me
is coming
rephrase
from
that
him.
question.
That looks like he's a guy that wants
Rephrase
to
that.
fight. It doesn't look like he's a guy that wants to fight. It looks like he's a guy that wants to
No,
protest and let results and let victory be given
no,
up to him.
we are coming to that. We are coming to that. Now, Brother Paul, let me rephrase that question to you a little bit. We heard the fraudulent results, the sad one that first came from my own village, from Batibo, from those thieves. I call them thieves because they have been momo and nobody went out and called a vote. The so-called ministers from Batibo stole and gave fraudulent results. The first result to come out, I was ashamed of myself. 5,000. I don't know where that they took those results from. Now, in cooperation with their thievery all around the national territory of Amazonia, do you buy that narrative that people like Balada are saying that if allow Amazonians to vote, maybe Chiruma would have won with a landslide and the Republic would have not known how to steal it? Does that make any sense? What is your take on that, my brother?
Pastor Victor, you heard the result from the Constitutional Council. For Far North, Mr. Paul Biya had 45. Issa Chiruma had 42. For Far North, was it Ambazonia? Were Ambazonians in Far North to stop him from stealing? People just talk sometimes. You see, look, Pastor Victor, it puzzles me when I hear some people say, they would have allowed people to go out and vote. Maybe the rigging would have not, it would have not happened. People voted, they voted massively in the Far North. Paul Biya still mind to rig it in the Far North. Stronghold of Issa Chiruma. Paul Biya was still able to steal. Then what are you talking about? Those people who are talking are just sick. They don't have anything to say. Because I'm in a group with one funny fellow. He was repeating the same thing. And when I asked him that question till now, it is since yesterday that I asked. I said, in the Far North, is it Ambazonia? No, we're supposed to allow people to go and vote. We're supposed to look at the way they stole. So it has nothing to do with the rigging machinery put in place by the Biya's government. And now what we are saying is we are looking up to him. He has done what? He has called people out. People have gone out and they have sacrificed. Some have sacrificed their lives. We have at least, as of now, at least 30 people who have gone. At least 30 people. So it should not end there.
Last question before we play some of the videos.
He better be ready for war. He better be ready and let him not go and chicken out and collect money from the regime. You know, after people have been killed like that.
Oh, yes. Lord, I want to ask you this question. Do you think that God took La Republique unawares? Because in 92, when Nijo Fundi won the election, they stole it and banned him from running again. In 2017, or is it 2018, Capital won. They stole it and banned him from running in this election. And when they banned him from running in this election, they knew that they are going to take, the election was going to be a walk in the park for them to rig it. From nowhere, Chiruma came up. They did not see Chiruma coming because they allowed Bello Buba to also register. So they knew that with Bello Buba and Chiruma coming from the north, there will be no problem. But from nowhere, they saw Chiruma came in a way they never expected. Do you think it's an indictment from God, from heaven, to La Republic government to let them know that it is time for a regime change, whether they like it or not? And that is why their rigging mechanic don't work. The world is shaming them now because they saw a big, massive vote behind Chiruma. What is your take on that? Thank you.
Pastor Victor, as a strong believer in God, and if this is God's plan, then let it be. And I'll truly be very happy if it's God's plan. But these
Yes.
guys are politicians. But these guys are politicians. And to be honest with you, until they read that result, I felt like even the Chiruma thing was all a plan by the La Republic government because of the way they compromised so many of our leaders' position.
You are,
Our
you are almost
leaders
taking me to my other question, but go
are,
ahead.
Chiruma, that old Chiruma can give us some fake. Chiruma is a lying minister. That is his job. All throughout this while when they're killing our people, Chiruma comes on TV and he's lying all the time. That is what I know Chiruma for. Chiruma is a liar. So I don't know how people went and were believing him that for some reason they could have some kind of arrangement with him. I hear he talk about some fake federation that he's going to bring for our people. There will be no federation between the people of the former British Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon. We have tried that in the past. The Woodruff Times even wrote that in their last article last week. There will be no federation, nothing. Whether it cannot be even come from a lying Chiroma. So if it was God's plan, if it's God's plan for real, it's going to be a blessing. Let them wake up. Let the people of the Republic of Cameroon wake up and fight for their freedom. Let them wake up and fight for their right and put order in that country. As they fight, let them make sure that they take care of their own territory. But I'll tell you that until even Sunday, I thought that the Chiruma was all planned by the government, and I even for some reason felt like maybe they were going to come and declare him the winner because of the things he was doing or the way he was talking. I thought it was a regime plan to transfer power and give it back to the North. Until they came on Monday, pop. No, the regime is not giving power back to the North. Hey, the Northeast people, you have to fight for your right to take that power back. That government, the first president used to be your people. Go back and take it. Why we fight to get our recognition. So, like I said, Chiruma
Thank
is a
you.
politician, but our own
Thank you
prayer
so
is
much.
for him not to chicken out. That's the thing. Let him not chicken out. As he has started it, let him not chicken out. They have pulled the Cameroonians on the streets. Even innocent Amazonians have picked, stray bullets there in Douala based on the report we're getting. So he needs to go there and defend himself and fight for that freedom that he say will fight for, and not go and collect some money and go sit back down and chicken out.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
Pastor
much.
Victor.
Come Paul. Like
Yeah.
you said in your introduction, me and you, we have been on the same side to say let La Republic taste what they have been doing. Do you think that La Republic was taken unawares? They did not see this coming? Because when they banned Nijo Frundi his election, he calmed down. They did the same to Kanto. Now, they never saw Chiruma coming in this force. What is your take about this Chiruma's game? See that the other part of the question. Was it that they wanted to just run and just play a game? Then Chiruma got popularity and took a, or did you really think that they saw this coming?
Yeah, I think I align with the position of Dr. Tita. I thought I had the same thought in the first place that it was a political game, which I still I take it with a pinch of salt. I flip the coin. Right up till now, I'm still trying to flip the coin. In the beginning, I thought Isa Chiruma and Bello Buba were just regime cronies trying to distract Maurice Kamto. Yeah. They wanted to cut the North, give it to Paul Biya at one point as against Maurice Kamto. But when Maurice Kamto was shifted out of the game, then I started having another political rumbling in my head. Then I said, the way Issa Chiruma came out, the support, the massive support that he received, it seems as if the regime never expected. So it could be a game of flipping coin. It seems the regime never expected. Then all of a sudden, he has become a bone in their throat. They cannot vomit and they cannot swallow. Yeah. So it is now up to him. Issa Chiruma has three options, whether he like it or not. Declare your political capital in the north, start an armed insurrection, or you travel to you go for self-exile in Chad. If you are not ready for any of these two, then be prepared that one day you occupy your room in Sed or in Kondengi. Because talking about giving him a position in the government, they cannot give him position in the government again. So it shows that he took them by surprise. He took them by storm. They never expected. They knew that the person who had that political leverage was Maurice Kamto. But now you see, the La Republique citizens, they just want anything in the name of change. They are in between the deep blue sea and is it the lion and the deep blue sea, or the whale and the deep blue sea, something like that. They are in between. They just want something. So they saw Issa Chiruma like that drop of water in the tongue of a thirsty man, and they say, okay, in the absence of a crocodile, we can manage this lizard. Maurice Kamto is the crocodile, so they see Issa Chiruma as the lizard. So I think it's Maurice Kamto is the crocodile. So now the crocodile is out. Now they see the lizard, which is Issa Chiruma. They have no choice. Yeah, so they have no choice than to welcome him. So it's something that I really like Dr. Tita. It's something that is political, but the thing has been done. The thing has been done. So let Issa Chiruma take his full responsibility.
Yeah, but thank you so much,
analysis, from your board analysis, I can see that you people are calling on Issa Chiruma, who will not have this number of people he has lost at it for a joke. I think, without a shadow of a doubt, I see Issa Chiruma serious with his game, and I don't think he's willing to back down. And he said it very clear that they are not anywhere to back down. And before our studio prepare for the very first video for us to watch, let's take this last question. Do you
Pastor
think
Victor,
that La République du Cameroun, Doctor, let me ask you, then you add it to what you want to say. Do you think that CPDM, La République government, really won this election? Genuinely, they could have been offering a prime minister position to Issa Chiruma at the beginning, before the election were being read. Is this not a sign that they lost the election genuinely? And now when Issa Chiruma turned down that position of prime minister, then they decided to bring out the rigging mechanism and said, you don't take it, we are even still going to rig it. You can answer that and add what you wanted to add on the Twitter, please. These are just things that are flowing in my mind.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor Victor, for that question. I'm going to come back to that rigging question later on. I want to tap into what Bra Paul was just saying. Like you were saying, is that Issa Chiruma took them by surprise. It's not only La République du Cameroun that Issa Chiruma took by surprise, even the international community. I bet that if the international community have seen that or predicted that there were going to be this type of riots on the ground, they could have intervened for the administration to do something else. I think when I was talking to one of our comrades like 2 weeks ago, I made the statement. I'm going to say it
No,
very
can you
clear here
move to
that
the right a little bit? You are not centered on your camera. I try to communicate that with you. No, just you. Yeah, good. You are good now. Yeah, perfect now.
so thank you. Sorry
Go
about
ahead.
that. So I tried to say
Yeah.
it, I said it 2 weeks ago to one of our comrades, our brothers, that the regime of the Republic of Cameroon will come to realize that it was a big mistake that they made to organize an election at this very crucial time. If their intention was to hand over power to somebody else, they could have handed over that power without organizing an election. If they had drawn like a consensus to check to see, to know that the people are tired of the regime, because the people of the Republic of Cameroon, they are tired of that regime. They are tired severely from all these years that the regime have been governing. So the regime will come to realize that it was a big mistake that they made. They could have just handed over power to whoever they wanted to transfer power from Povia to, and that person comes and organizes elections within the next couple of years or so. So the international community is following up too because they're all taken by surprise. What I still don't really get a clear picture of it is Issa Churuma's reaction and fighting, because I know for sure that Issa Churuma is part of the regime, and when he's talking and he's sending people on the street, what is the idea or is the agenda? Maybe like some we saw some reports saying that the people of the regime of the Republic of Cameroon have reached out to France for France to try to mediate between the two of them, and France is trying to see how they can divide power between the people of the Pobia regime and the Churuma regime to see that Churuma gets more power and control. Maybe that's what Issa Churuma is saying, that maybe working there as a minister is not as powerful as he will want to be. So he wants to exert that power now to make sure that he gets some level of power. I've not been in their circle, so I don't know how their power is divided among all of them in there. But like what Brapo was saying is either he stands strong to fight for himself, or he is going to be picked up one of these days by the regime. They did it before. They arrested, put Frundi under house arrest. They put Kamto there. They arrested Kamto, even though we all thought that they were part of the regime and playing their game. So let him stand
Thank
strong
you.
and be ready to fight. In regards to the rigging of the election, I mean, it's evident that the CPDM or the ruling party wants to rule for life. One of their ministers, Jean Didier Momo, said one time in one of his videos or his outing on TV, he said that the regime will never change. He's going to regime ne va jamais changer. That's what he says, that this regime will never change. So whatever they are organizing elections and all that thing, all that is fraud. So they don't intend to change anything. They just do that to say that they have democracy going on there, which is all lies. So we don't expect anything else from CPDM. We could only expect that they will send their agents out to act like opposition, and then they bring them back in, just like they've been doing with Bello Buba Magari and all of the other opposition leaders, that they go out there and try to run as if they are running for position, and then later on, after election is over, they come and take a ministerial job, and they sit there as a minister somewhere coordinating something. So I don't know if Issa Choruma will eventually chicken out, but we hope that he is not going to. They have already started fighting there. They've already killed people. He cannot let the innocent blood go away. What is more important for us is, as this order goes on in neighboring La République du Cameroon, it's time for our people to take the powers in their hands and take over our control of our territory. Our people must stand up, just like the citizens of La République du Cameroon are standing up against their government. Our people must stand up against all colonial administrators, all police barracks. Bring down all of those barracks that are all over our national territory. Bring them down. Yes, bring them down. Our people cannot continue to live as colonized people. So our people must stand up. It's the people's power.
I
Is
was going
more
to
than
bring
the
that
military.
up, but thank God you're already saying it. I was going to bring that up anyways along the line in our program. Well, it's evident. I don't know if you want to answer that. It's evident that La Republic rigged the election. That's why they were begging Issa Chiroma before the reading of the election to take a prime minister position. The other very key question, let me keep it and ask it. Let's watch some videos from the studio about what has been happening in La Republique from Monday, since the election was read, till today. Studio, if you have any videos for us, let's see them so that the world know exactly what we are talking about here, about the dilemma in La Republique, before we continue with the questioning. Thank you, studio. All right. If the studio is not yet
Why the
ready,
studio? Why the studio is coming up with those with the image? We want to say that there is clear evidence that the people of the former British Southern Cameroons, the people of Ambazonia, they are completely different people. They have rejected the colonial regime and their administrations and all of their elections and their politicians. It's clear with the images that we see coming from the Republic of Cameroon that we are not part, the people of Ambazonia are not part of them. It is clear when you see all the protests that they have going on there in their territory about whether they are lying Chiroma is supposed to be their president or not. It is clear. And like Brother Paul said, that the people of the Republic of Cameroon, they were already tired and they've had enough. That's why you see they went to the booth to even vote for lying Chiroma. That they went there in the election booth to vote for Chiroma. That was all the lying all throughout. It's like voting for Chiroma is like voting for Atanganji. How do you go and vote for those type of people to be president in your country? Like seriously. But anyway, that's their own fight. That's their own fight for them to take. But what is clear is that the people of Ambazonia are not part of the people of the Republic of Cameroon. And these images that are coming out is sending strong waves in the international community for them to know clearly that, hey, it's time. It's time for the international community to act. And the time is now. Let the people of the Republic of Cameroon go and pick up the fight and remove the regime there while we take control of our territory.
all right. Thank you, Dr. If the studio is not yet ready with any of those videos, the other sensitive question I wanted to ask, which Paul, I would like you to take that question, is this. Paul, do you really think that it's ready for China to rule Cameroon at this time? Because this is the key. If France does not endorse you, it doesn't matter. Do you think that at this moment in the life of La Republique du Cameroon, with what is happening in the Sahel region, with all the presidents that are Muslim inclined, do you think that France can endorse or is in the position to welcome Chiroma as a president now in La Republique du Cameroon?
Voilà, tes aéroports, ça commande, sont malades. On a volé notre victoire, on ne peut pas laisser faire. Les mamans, les voilà en train de venir là-bas. On ne laisse pas, on va brûler tous ces pays. Des imbéciles comme ça, vos mamans.
Así les gendarmes qui fuient. Les gendarmes qui fuient. Tirez! Atata! 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 Restez! Ils sont entrés dans la direction sur les cotons. Ils sont entrés dans la direction sur les cotons. Voilà les militaires à l'intérieur. Atata! Massacrez-les! Massacrez! D'accord.
Police Irano! Police Irano! Police Irano!
Le gars, on a fait le tour des niens. C'est ça. Ils ont bourré les unes. Ils ont bourré les unes. Venez. Le voilà. Le bandit de l'ambassade, le voilà. Le bandit de l'ambassade, le voilà. Ils ont bourré les unes. Ils ont bourré les unes en Côte d'Ivoire. Le voilà, les bandits de l'ambassade. La police ivoirienne est complice. L'État ivoirien est complice. Les 43 ans de dictature du Cameroun.
Nous arriverons. Soyons tous disciplinés. Le combat, le véritable combat ne vient que de commencer. Impossible n'est pas camerounais. Et j'appelle ici les responsables, les policiers, les gendarmes. Et j'appelle le peuple. Nous sommes témoins des tirs à balles réelles par la gendarmerie et par la police sur les citoyens à même lieu. Dorénavant, dans vos quartiers, il va falloir identifier les maisons de tous les policiers, de tous les gendarmes, de tous les militaires. Et à partir de ce moment, s'ils essayent encore de tuer un de nos frères, nous n'allons pas avoir pitié de la réciprocité. Comme on le dit, plus on est calme, plus les gens pensent qu'on a peur. On n'a pas peur. Le peuple ne veut pas verser le sang. Le peuple veut une seule chose, faire partie du régime de Paul Biya. Nous n'en voulons plus de Paul Biya. Nous n'en voulons plus de Paul Biya. Nous ne l'avons pas voté le 12 octobre. Paul Biya a perdu les élections. Ils ne peuvent pas obliger un peuple qui a choisi un autre candidat à rester avec Paul Biya. 43 ans, 43 ans, ça suffit. Trop, c'est trop. Le combat continue. C'est le commandant en chef, Kolisna.
Thank you, studio. Thank you, Chairman, for that wonderful time there with those videos. There is just a lot in those videos, but let me start from this very last one. I will come back to that other question from a part I ended with. I will come back to that question because that is very important. But what do you think is the foundation? You know, Biya has always thrived on the foundation of the military. Give big sums of money to those generals, keep them happy, and then this sang along can give them any little thing that protect you for many years, you can be there. But we see this last guy appealing to the gendarme, the police, the military, not to support the regime, but to stand by the people. And we see in the north, most of the military are standing with the people. Do you think this is a crack in La Republique's government's foundation and in the beginning of the downfall of La Republique and their government? Paul, what is your take on that?
See, Pastor Victor, this is a long story. You know, Paul Biya changed everything since after the April 6, 1984 coup. He turned Cameroon to his personal property, managing it the way he wants. Let me tell you something. Every Cameroonian, French Cameroonian citizen is born in fear, intimidation, and poverty. These three things. Look at it. Well, fear, poverty, and intimidation. These three things. That is how what is his modus operandus is divide and rule, creating the elite class, dividing them to consolidate power. It is very, very important that you see the foundation. Talking to the police, let me come now to the point of using the Beti clan, the Beti Bulu clan. He has made them to understand that they are the owners of power. That power is a natural inheritance. That power does not, they look at the Burmese, for us they look at, let me tell, I have a video of a young Bulu, a young Beti guy. I've posted it on my Facebook page, telling his colleague, his tribe men, that if they see any Bameleke policeman wants to like go back, let them fire immediately. If they see any Babana, any Babana, that's the Northeast soldiers, if they want to join the crowd, let them fire immediately. That these people are traitors. You understand? You have stolen somebody's victory and you don't want that person to react because you think that that power belongs to you. So talking to the military, let me tell you, if you look at the military structure, the administrative structure of the military, in every strategic area, you must find a Beti Bulu man in all over La Republique and even in Ambazonia. Unit in the regions. They don't trust the Bameleke, they don't trust the Nordies, talk less of the Ambazonians.
Thank you. I don't know. It looks like our internet there is shaking with Paul's internet. Dr. Tita, you want to pick on that question, please?
Yes, it's evident. I think even most people in most of the professions that work for the government of the Republic of Cameroon, it's clear evidence that we've had even numerous complaints, even from people in the healthcare sector, like I talked, like medical doctors that went to queues and are posted to work, and or pharmacists, they complain about their pay because the regime has always moved more money, pay the military more, and all of that. That's their own way of governing and maintaining control on making sure that the military doesn't wake up against them. Like all of those captains that are in the position where now they could get up and take power, or the lieutenants or lieutenant colonels that are in the positions where they could wake up and take over power now, seem like, I say seem like because we don't know what will happen within the next couple of days. Seem like they are not willing to take control of the situation and remove the Republic of Cameroon in this deep mess that they have found themselves in. I mean, it's all over. Everybody all over the world has seen the terrible videos or images that are coming from the Republic of Cameroon, like everywhere, all over their entire territory. People have decided to rise up against the regime. We're hoping that those that
I'm
are
sorry.
staying in we are hoping that those that
Paul,
are
your
staying in
internet have been frozen for a while, so I think you just came back on. Let Dr. Tita finish there. I'll get back to you, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we're hoping that those that are in the in their country's capital can put more force or for the regime to actually collapse. We are hoping that one of their colonels or their captains can wake up and exercise control, take the power in their hands. The young ones, yes, and not just say, oh, they have money. They have a country there and a people to protect. I think that that's what they need to do. Like Brapo was saying, that you've seen it in some of the areas where their military is siding with their people. And even in some areas, we've even seen their colonial administrators or their administrators in those areas siding with the people and marching with the people on the streets. So we're hoping that the youth, those that are young in the military, will lead. And at least there's so many of them that could wake up today and bring the regime down and make sure that they free the people of the Republic of Cameroon from the hands of this regime. So we're hoping so. Hopefully they will take action within the next couple of days. And the people, we are praying for the people, and we hope that the people of the Republic of Cameroon will not chicken out, and they should not be intimidated. They need to fight for their rights. I think that they have seen it already, how the people of Ambazonians have been defending themselves for over 9 years, and they are ready to fight the regime. So we hope that they will defeat the regime and take over control of their territory. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Dr.
Pastor Victor.
Tita. And I think what we are trying to point out here is something which I experienced before, the division in their military. They have always had this one-man show that everybody answer yes, sir. But I think this time around, there are those who are not, am I frozen there? There are those who are not supporting Atanganji's violence against the people. They are the B and the gendarmes are those who are actually, no, the B and the presidential guard are those who are actually trying to hear those instructions. But the military is trying to stand with the people. And I come to even say here that it was the military of Robert Mugabe that removed him from power. And if the Republican military is tired with the regime, they are the best people to stand behind Chiruma. The division in the north, the division in Bafoussam, the division in Douala, even if the whole military in Yaoundé is agreeing with the regime, it's already a crack. Paul, your take on that?
I don't know. I don't know where I stopped last. Where I got frozen.
Because you were frozen for a while.
When it comes to the military, like I said, it will be very difficult. It will be extremely difficult. Why will it be difficult? Because Mr. Paul Biya has cropped up the center, the south, and the east, which is the Beti Bulu clan. Majority of those in the B are from these places, and they have made them to understand that they are the owners of power. That power is a divine right. That power does not have to cross, because the day power will cross, they will suffer the consequences. Now, you see, the B, which is a special class, a special unit. Let me tell you, La Republic is the only country in Africa that has not recognized Palestine as a state, thus making them have a very special relationship with Israel. And Israel is the one in charge of the presidential security, training of this special class of forces that are loyal to Mr. Paul Biya. The Burmese, the Ambazonians, and the Nordis, the Babanas, that are in this squad, they occupy no strategic position. Those in strategic positions are the Beti Bulus. Know that. Some others who sometimes they manage them are people from Littoral, because if you see geographically, the people from Littoral are the isolated class inside La Republic. Now, if you go to all the regions, the Beti Bulu are classified in strategic positions. That is why the young man, which I just posted on my Facebook page, this young man is a Beti Bulu. He is telling his colleagues, his brothers, his Beti Bulu tribesmen, that if they see a policeman, an army who is a Bami or a Babana, wants to behave like he wants to join the crowd, that they should put the policeman down. They should immediately, that they are traitors. You can imagine, you steal somebody's thing. You steal somebody's thing, and you are still telling them that you are still calling them traitors. It means what they are, the education that they have shows that power belongs to them. They don't want to imagine after 43 years, power transferring to another. So it is going to be a tough fight. Now, the only thing that the army cannot withstand is the population. Once, look at water. You can drink, put water in a cup and you drink. You can wash your dresses with water. But the moment water becomes float, you cannot hold it. It becomes destructive. That is how the population have to turn from water into float, just like what happened in Madagascar. When the population came out in their numbers, more than 1 million people came out in the streets of Antananarivo. And what happened? The army was overwhelmed. So if they want to succeed, the only way they can quell down the army is when we get at least 5 million people in the street of Yaoundé. That is the only solution. Without that, Yaoundé is in peace. Without that, Yaoundé is comfortable. Without that, the center of power of dictatorship is in peace.
Comrade Paul, you know, it's true you have said, but to be candid, if Douala, Garou, and the rest are in a turmoil, Yaoundé cannot be in peace. Don't mind this thing they used to talk. They used to talk this thing when it's happening to us in Amazonia. When they ground the economy, when they ground the economy in Douala, if the king goes down in Douala,
maybe
pretends.
Maybe in 2008 you were not back home. If you were back home, you understand what I'm saying. In 2008, we saw the hunger strike. The whole country, there was serious strike in the whole country, in the north, south, east, and west. It was not that strong in Yaoundé. And what happened? They quell it down. It was more than a week. Yaoundé, Douala was shut down. Southwest, northwest, everywhere was shut down for almost a week. And they succeeded in using the military to quell that down. And they did what? Paul Biya came out, opened his eyes, and said, Abranti Sorcier, that they were trying him. And so that is the level. Point is, so long as
it's true, but the dynamics now have changed. I don't think, you know, did you, let me ask you, did you even believe we could see what we are seeing in Yaoundé and Douala now? Because people have been pushed to the wall. People are tired of the regime. What we are seeing now is something that we least even believe. But let me tell you to my question. Do you believe that with what happened to Ahidjo and France, the France that you know is ready for a Nordis as a president? Because this is what, if we can answer that, it will tell us whether there will be real war in that country or not. What is your take on that?
Thank you so much, Pastor Victor. Let me dive into your question directly in regards to what happened with their former president of the Republic of Cameroon, Ahidjo, and all that mafia that was played. You know, because those are some of the questions that we actually try to look into recently after the elections when Chiroma started speaking the way he was talking. Because we're thinking some way that maybe the regime wants to hand over power back to the North. They got it from Ahidjo, you know, so that maybe there is time for them to give it over back to them and let them rule for some time. You know, so we had all those thoughts. And then thinking about it again right now, it's like it's clear evident that the regime is not ready to hand over power. Are they ready to bring back the corpse of Ahidjo to come and bury it in Cameroon? I know those are the questions that we're asking ourselves. So it looked like it's clear that France is not ready for anything of that, to be honest. But let me go back to the question that you had asked before, which was the question of disagreement in the La République du Cameroon military. I want to state it very clearly to all of their colonels and their captains and all whatnot. The way the situation is unfolding is evident that the regime is not going to listen to any opposite opinions or idea, and it's going to be useless for them to give a contradicting ideas or suggestion to the regime, because eventually they were just going to be picked up and arrested or locked up. Leadership is taken by force. It's time for them to take the leadership into their own hands and take control of the situation. It's only when they take control of this situation completely that they can have an impact. It's not trying to correct they cannot correct the regime, and they cannot do something different. So they should take the powers in their own hands. All of those are there in the military. They have so many young people there that are colonels and that are captains that are there. They could take this power over in no time. So it's useless for them wasting their time trying to disagree agree with their regime, because they will eventually be picked up. Like what I heard, they've arrested one of their captains or their colonel, one of them, because of the difference in opinion. So they should just take over power and bring all of these people down and rule the country, than even giving their opinions, because their opinions is not going to do any change. It's a lot more easier than for them to take over power.
That is
It's a lot more easier for them to take over power than go into an argument with them to try to correct them. You cannot correct them.
No, that's the dilemma that is going to bring down the republic. Because from my own assessment, I don't know, maybe after this Paul can echo something like that. From my own assessment, I know France is not ready for a Nordist president. From what they did to Ahidjo, they are not ready for a Nordist president. They are not ready for a Bamileke president. You know why they reject Kamto? Go. There's a video on YouTube about how they slaughtered the Bamileke, cutting their heads in those days. Now, that is why they cannot accept a Kamto or Bamileke president. That aside, he came back to the Ekpreku about on Ahidjo, which also they lie about the fact that Ahidjo should go to France and be treated that he was doctor. His doctor said he was sick. Was a lie from France to take over Ahidjo. And they know how Ahidjo died. Pobia did not allow Ahidjo to come to that country. These are things that are already cooking under that France cannot even allow that. And because of that, that is why I know for sure that Chiruma is not going to bow. I don't know your take on that, Paul, before we take some.
Yeah, this is a very complex issue for France not wanting who or who. At one point, the people, the citizens of French Cameroon, they have to take their destiny into their hands. It's not France that will have to decide. What happened in Madagascar is a clear sign. When the people were fed up with Rajolina, they took to the streets. And what did France do? France only evacuated him and his family. There was a special military jet kept aside for that purpose. The moment they saw that 2 days, the tension was, it was not dropping, it was instead going higher and higher. They decided to evacuate him. When they realized that the military had now sided with the people, they surrender. So at one point, it is not France to decide. Because if it is France to decide, let me tell you, after Mr. Paul Biya, Ngongo will continue. After Mr. Paul Biya, Chantal Biya will continue. After Mr. Paul Biya, Ayolo Mvondo will continue. So it is not France to decide. The moment the people will say is enough, and they attack, my point is taking Yaoundé by storm. If you like, Pastor Victor, cut the 3 northern provinces, let them be fighting up there. Let Ambazonia be fighting. So long as there is peace in Yaoundé, Yaoundé will only be sending troops that they are fighting. They are fighting another Ambazonia that has started in the north. Let me tell you, shut down the Douala from to December. It will not, so long as there is peace in Yaoundé.
I believe what you are saying. I'm just saying, I am echoing that shutting Yaoundé down is what will bring the Republic down truly. But I'm just also saying that no matter what, Wala Bafoussam will make them to be stable. That is not the truth you are saying. What you are saying is the real fact to bring the Republic down. But if it begins, Bafoussam joins, no joins, it will surely affect Yaoundé. But let's take some videos now. Studio, let's take some video before we come and comment. And please, we'll end the show.
Le Cameroun avancera. Même si vous voulez sur le corps de Paul Biya, l'ordre avancera, le Cameroun avancera. L'ordre dernier, le Cameroun avancera. Même si vous marchez sur un Camerounais, moi particulièrement, je vais marcher sur un Camerounais. Si certains doivent tomber, ils tomberont. Mais le Cameroun avancera. Mais le Cameroun avancera. N'importe quoi. On va vous arracher ce respect-là. On va vous arracher ce respect-là. Même s'il faut passer sur le corps de Paul Biya pour que le Cameroun évolue, on passera sur le corps de Paul Biya. N'importe quoi.
Un minable.
Cameroon's military showing very clear signs of Biya fatigue as they step in to defend citizens in Bertoua against police brutality. Here you can see a very clear demarcation. The police on the one side ready to launch an attack. The army in between the police and the citizens asking the police not to make any move. If this trend starts replicating throughout Cameroon, then Biya is history.
Vous voyez pas que les militaires veulent qu'ils encerclent le commissariat. C'est même quelle méchanceté ça. C'est même quelle méchanceté ça. Merde, c'est quelle histoire ça. Ils ont rien encerclé le commissariat. Merde, mon Dieu. Ok, Seigneur.
Bon, salut les frères. Voilà un policier là. On voulait lui tuer maintenant, c'est moi qui ai lui récupéré. Le voilà. Les autres sont fouillés, on a brûlé leur voiture. Mais le voilà lui aussi, c'est moi qui lui sauvé, voilà. Le problème ce n'est pas bien, le peuple voulait lui tuer. Le voilà, on lave sa tête. On lave sa tête, là, le voilà, on lave sa tête, ce n'est pas bien. Quand on demande le changement là, il faut des changements. Voilà, on voulait lui tuer. Ce n'est pas bien. Vous regardez, non, ce n'est pas bien, pardon. Le chef là, regardez, vous aussi regardez. On voulait lui tuer, c'est moi qui lui ai aidé. Le peuple voulait lui tuer. Je lui mettrai chez moi, ce n'est pas bien. Problème, vous regardez,
Nous, on ne peut pas tuer les hommes à tenue. Nous voulons juste le changement.
Voilà, c'est ce que nous voulons. Bon, voilà, maintenant, on est tenu. Finalement, on y va déranger, on va déranger.
L'influence, jusqu'à où tu es prêt à sacrifier les Camerounais pour rester à Etoudji. Toi, un vieux père âgé de plus de 93 ans qui ne peut plus rien apporter. Ça, ce n'est même plus l'âge de la retraite. Ça, c'est l'âge d'être ancêtre. Donc, Jacques, tu es déjà mort jusqu'à ton crâne sève, c'est à laver le nous. Chez nous, les Bantous, comme on le dit souvent. Regarde toi-même, un pauvre policier de ton état. Tu sors, tout simplement pas, tu peux pas travailler ton gagne.
C'est grave, Andé. Voilà, Andé, c'est grave. Eh, ça va. C'est grave, Andé. Andé, c'est grave, Andé, c'est grave. Voilà, Andé, c'est grave. Andé, c'est grave, Andé. Andé, c'est grave, Andé, c'est grave. Andé, c'est grave.
Wow. We'll be rounding up this program in the next 10 minutes, and then we'll continue either tomorrow or Monday, depending on what we agree. But we just talked about this military thing and the police disagreement. And we saw a woman lamenting that, Dr. You poor here friends better than me, you and Congo Paul. Can you people translate what that first guy was saying there, then what that woman was crying there? So that and then let me get what they were really saying, please. But I see that woman crying and saying it looked like the military are trying to defend the people while the police is trying to do, I don't know. Let me not translate it wrongly. What was the woman saying there? Any of you can pick it up, please.
Let Paul do the translation. He's the Jews, you know.
Well, the woman was saying, and to what point did it happen that the population took over? It means the military get advantage to the population to do what? To take over the commissariat. And then the other video, this young man was saying, look at you. You are going out to defend a man who by normal circumstances is supposed to even to be dead and referred to as an ancestor. You are going to defend that type of man for what? Using your life as a leverage to protect an ancestor in power. I think that is just a synopsis of what. But the first one, there was a misunderstanding between the army and the police. How managed the army allowed the people to surround the commissariat? So it was just at that moment it was a minor disagreement, because I think if the population was serious, they would have gone down that commissariat. But it never did happen.
Yeah. So, Dr. Tita, what we are saying is that there is a crack in the foundation of Pobia. The military, police, gendarme, they are not in agreement. What is your take on that? We can see that very clearly now.
I mean, it's evident that the people are tired. And it's not only
Right.
the people that are not working, but also those that are working, like civil servants, those in the police, those in the military. I think that all these images that we are seeing, we are not seeing the reaction of all of the police officers. I bet that do not agree with what is happening. Just like the disagreement that was there between the police and the military. I think it's clearly that it clearly showed that on that video that the military had moved closer to the police station, and the people, the crowd too. The crowd has come really close and had circled the police station. So but yes, because the Cameroonian, from my understanding, the people of the Republic of Cameroon are tired. So it's not only the average people, but even those in the military and in the police, and even in the gendarmerie and everywhere, they are tired. And this is clear evidence that it's time for the regime to go. I wish that the international community could have predicted this long time ago with their studies. They could have carried out studies on the ground to know how tired the people of the Republic of Cameroon are. And I say this because this is part of the reason that they've been holding us.
Doctor, let me cut you short there because there was this last question I have, and time is running out on us. We heard the United Nations General making out an appeal, and his appeal was not against the regime that has frauded an election. The appeal was calling on opposition or calling on calmness. What is this happening? What is happening here? Is it like the United Nations cannot even stand for justice for the people of La République du Cameroon? They ignored our issue. We have fought ourselves for 8 years, and we have fought La République for 8 years. They didn't come to our aid. So we are observing. Up till now, is it that the United Nations also is being corrupted even to say something that a 43-year-old president is in power, whether somebody is in power 43-year-old, or whether for the 3 years, the United Nations cannot even know that this man is a dictator. Is this corruption also at this level, or what is this that we are seeing now? You people can say and do your final words on this, because I'm tired to hear such kind of calls instead of calling for the dictator to step down. This is sickly, man.
Yes, Pastor Victor, I saw the letter from the United Nations. But what is the United Nations known for? Because that is going to help us with our expectation. Everything that I personally know about the United Nations is about peace. I've never heard the United Nations talk about elections somewhere, or that they're going to go carry out elections somewhere. All I know is them bringing their peacekeeping forces to come and bring peace. So I think they were talking within their scope of practice. That's what they do, and that's how they talk about.
But
one thing I'm going to say is that
because their peace is that their peace is without justice, and where there is no justice, there can be no peace. Can the United Nations know? Can Antonio Guterres know that you cannot talk about peace in a place without justice? How can? This is something that they have to know. Huh?
That they know that, but that's not their area. That's not their scope of practice. All they want to do is bring peace. They don't care how it comes. That's how these people operate now. They don't care how it comes. Justice, you go to the court system or the judicial system and ask them for justice. These people, all they care about is peace. So they talk within their scope of practice. What I wanted to say here clearly is that the elections of Cameroon was communicated to them because they are part of the United Nations. So they already know, the leadership already knew that this is what is good. They were about to do. And the leadership probably, the people at the United Nations, if at any point they were thinking that something like this was going to happen, maybe they could have made provisions or advised the regime on what to do. But we never know. Maybe they had advised the regime already, and contrary to what the regime did, but the regime did not listen. So sometimes you don't know the talks that are happening in the back. Let's just give it time and see how things unfold and get the response from everybody and see how everybody is reacting. So but it's very clear that the people of the Republic of Cameroon have been tired of their regime, and this is not it didn't start now. I think ever since the days of Camto, these guys have been gearing up until now that they just got so tired of the regime and they wanted Chiroma. I didn't see Chiroma as any different, but he's acting like he's different. It's going to take some time for me to really get convinced that Chiroma is different or that he's on a different agenda after working in that regime for so many years. Maybe he might have reflected
wake up,
back.
man, and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the coffee, man.
Please let me finish here. Maybe he might have reflected back from over 7
dreaming, thinking that it's a joke, right?
Please. Maybe Chiroma might have reflected back for over 7 years that the regime locked him in prison, and he's bitter about it. And he says, "No, he was going to take over power now. Let him just take over." Maybe so. But we are watching the situation daily. I mean, it's been sleepless nights since Sunday. We could barely go to sleep here, just watching and monitoring what is happening and trying to communicate to the right quarters, the right diplomatic quarters here in America.
And we shut down for the day. Paul,
yes. Let the UN take care of itself. There's nothing like the UN. UN is not capable of solving any problem. UN is just a set of I don't know. UN is just it's on paper. UN is just on paper. It's just a group of people who have just sat and they are just trying to please themselves, to comfort themselves that they are in an organization that can do something for them. The UN, for me, does not exist. It is the people. It is the people that decide. If the people decides, the UN accepts. That's all. I don't have any comment to make about UN because UN cannot even take care of itself. The internal division in the UN is alarming. It is crippling the UN. So for me, UN has to dissolve. Then a new world organization with a far more better structure is created that gives everyone equal power to decide on certain issues. Without that, for me, the UN is just on paper.
Thank you very much. I had personally prayed for, he played down the issue in Amazonia. I prayed for him. I said he will come out the worst United Nations in Nigeria because there will be bigger wars that will come that he will not be able to solve because he failed to solve the little thing in Amazonia. And Ukraine came up, he could not solve it. Israel and Palestine, he could not solve it. Couple of wars have come out that he has not been able to solve. And I think it's just a talk also, and I believe you very well. They are a bulldog that just barks and can do nothing. But let me tell you our last words, Dr. Tita. As we call it up the day today, we have more videos and we will continue this tomorrow or on Monday, depending on the availability of every one of us. Let me tell you our last words, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Victor. Fellow Amazonians at home and in the diaspora. We are at a very critical stage in our revolution. Ever since 9 years ago, when the regime declared war against our people have been defending themselves. We have been doing tremendous work this year as far as diplomacy is concerned, in order to correct the betrayal, the horrible betrayal that was done in early 1961, in making sure that the people of Amazonia get the recognition that they truly deserve. We are at a very critical stage now in the revolution with the rioting that is taking place over in neighboring Republic of Cameroon. Now, it's up to us to either come in now, great homeland. It's up to us at the home front to either rise up and kick the colonial military and colonial administrators out of our territory. Now, God has given us this opportunity. What we do with it depends on us, and history will remember us. What I can say that as far as Friends of Ambazonia is concerned, as far as we are concerned, we are prosecuting this revolution at the level of these diplomatic quarters aggressively. We are communicating aggressively with everyone. We have reached out before the riot is happening in La République du Cameroon. Right now, we have already reached out to most of the major quarters and the major countries, officially with official letters requesting for them to step in and do something. We have requested for the United Nations to step in and complete the decolonization process. So we've reached out, we're doing what we need to do, but we need every Ambazonian to rise up and get together and let's finish this fight right now and let our people get this recognition that they need. Thank you so much, Pastor Victor. Thank you to the technical team for the amazing job that you guys have been doing. We will see you back on Monday with awareness. I will try to be there on that show as well. Thank you. Greetings, Brother Paul. I hope we'll be after the show is over. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Brother Paul, any last words from you before we go?
Yeah, I'm making an appeal to the Republic citizens who can hear me in English. Please do not let your president keep him down. The target is Yaoundé. All of you focus in Yaoundé and to the La Republic diaspora. Do enough work. Do your homework well. Crumble. Target Yaoundé. Mr. Pobia and his gang of criminals will flee when you take over Yaoundé. Mr. Issa Chiluma, you have less time to change your voice from that of a peacemaker to a revolutionary. If you want to liberate Cameroon, if you want to liberate French citizens, your citizens, it's now or never. Change the tune to a liberator and not a politician. You are still a politician. You will become a liberator when you change your tune. That is my appeal to you. And to the French diaspora, there is still much work to be done to tackle Yaoundé, to block Yaoundé, to bring down Yaoundé. Thank you very much, Pastor Victor. Thank you, Dr. Tita, for this moment. The team, and I thank our viewers and lovers of Ambazonia State Radio Television. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tita. Thank you so much, Comrade Paul. Thank you, Chairman Amos, our technician behind the background at the scene there. We are grateful for you being with us, all our audience. We are grateful. We will be back here on Monday, surely, unfailingly, to continue with this because I know there's just a lot in our package to talk about this. And I saw a lot of you listening and commenting. God bless you all. We'll be back here. Do what Madagascar did. Rise up and go to your capital. Take down the capital and what Madagascar did. If you give up after one day, you are working. If you give 2 days, do it until your government bows. Nobody is bigger than the government. The people rule. So please, youths of La Republic, stand up for your country and save your future. Otherwise, you will die with no future. And Yaoundé doesn't care about that. God bless you. Shalom to you all. Bye-bye.